Imagine bringing a burst of summer into your home in the depths of winter. Today I'm going to show you how to make this colourful dried flower ball. It's quick, it's fun, and it's a brilliant way to use flowers that you've grown in your garden and dried. You don't need any floristry experience, just a bit of time, a few flowers, and the willingness to have a go. So the equipment that you need to create a dried flower ball is pretty similar to the equipment you need if you were doing it fresh flowers. And that is a ball of chicken wire, flowers, of which we have a selection behind us, some wire to hang it from, and I have, for ease of hanging, I have a bamboo cane pushed through the middle of it, to which I'm going to hang the wire that I will be hanging it from. Now, you can use wire, you can use fishing line, the clear so it's invisible, so it really does look like it's hanging in midair. But I'm going to just use mossing wire. It's fairly easy to use, and from a distance you're not going to see it. So let me just snip off that length of wire. This is going to create quite a large ball. If you think that that's the base that it is, then flowers will at least be taking you that far out, I would think. So it will be doubling in size. So it's going to be fairly generous. Dried flowers are so much lighter than fresh flowers, so I could just hang it on the wire itself, but actually I think I'm going to use the stick so that I know that I'm attached to something more solid and not movable, i.e. something that won't flex like the wire will. So attach it anyhow that you can. It just needs twisting into place. You could have a cross of bamboo and then have the wire on all four corners to balance it, but as this is just going to be a fairly simple ball, I am just doing it as simple as I can with one bamboo cane. And let's hang it up. So there we have the mechanics. So after a bit of a rejig or a rethink, I decided that I would do a smaller sphere of chicken wire because the other one was going to end up being massive, use loads of flowers, and actually end up being far too big for anything that I could use, and create quite a long video. So I thought I'd do something smaller. This will then be able to be used as a satellite orb to a bigger, more organic flower cloud that I'm going to create in a course that will be coming out soon. So that's my plan. If you want to check out the course, then subscribe to my free hub, and the course will appear in there as and when it's available. In the meantime, let's get started with this. And the starting point is creating a base layer. Now this is Limonium, which is a perennial, is an interesting flower, but what I'm going to need to do is cut that back, because adding that in just like that is, whilst it will eventually stay in place. I'm not concerned about that. Oh, maybe if I put it that way. It's got a lot of air within it, but then the other flowers will need to also sit in that air. So I'm going to make smaller stems so that I can create a better base layer while still trying to keep the overall effect of lightness in it. So I cut that up into smaller bits. So I am just going to start putting those in. So any which way. That is actually still a bit too big, I think, so I'm going to cut that up a bit more. Any which way at the moment, really just put it in. You're just wanting to cover up the main areas. Now the key thing is to make sure you cover everything. So the base layer is there to add, its main purpose is to cover up the mechanics. So as you can see, by me adding this in, it's camouflaging it a bit. Now we will be adding more flowers. Let me just get some more of these. We will be adding more flowers, so it's not essential that every piece is covered and hidden, but it's better if the show flowers are doing them, you can place them where you want rather than fill the gaps. So I will be using a mixture of this limonium, this other limonium, feverfew, and the Achillea to build out this base layer of the orb. So at the moment I'm just putting this light touch around here, and I'll be adding in the next layers as we go. So let me speed this up. As you can see, it's not entirely covered. You can still see the mechanics through the gap, but they are starting to get masked. And as you can see, the size has increased. So I'm hiding behind these. So now I am going to add in some more colour. So again, taking the limonium, they are one stem. By itself is just a small speck in the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is bundle groups of them together and add those randomly throughout. So let's get shorter stems so that basically we are covering more area in one go. So if I push that through, you do have to keep making sure that things stay secure. The underlying ones, the ones at the bottom, will be the most challenging. However, once you start getting more in, I'm going to cut that one. There we go. Thought it was hooked. Once you start getting more in, then they become trapped by all the other stems. But until that time, you might do a bit of catching of everything as they fall out. try and make it as secure as you can while you're doing it. So I will be adding bundles of the coloured glamonium like that next. We have a ball now, a fairly evenly distributed colour. You have to keep checking underneath to make sure that it's going to be okay. So there are some areas that I might like to put some more of the Achillea mollis in there. And the more that you put in, the more things become tight. Is that going to work? I think I might add a bit more just to confirm. I like that it's got a few spikes of colour along with the green, so I'm going to continue with that and see how things go. I might eventually take it all out again, but we shall see. So we have finished the base layer. It is kind of erring on the yellow side. We've added the yarrow. We've got the lime green of the Achillea mollis. We've got pops of colour from the limonium. I maybe could have added more, but I can add more in a minute. But really we are now doing our feature layer. And our feature layer will be straw flowers of many different colours. Zinnias of mainly pinks and larkspur of blues for definite. The pinks may come in if it feels that we need some pink spikes. So I'm going to play it by ear. But now we are on to doing the display layer. And it's similar. So you just take a flower head, and eventually at some point it's going to start, and it is now tightening up on the inside. So to be able to make it easier to get your stem in, you can cut it at an angle so you've got a point, and that then just slips in. Now at this point you do need to make sure they're in firm. It's not full yet, so it's going to take a little bit more before it's essential to try and put the points in. So we shall continue with the feature layer. Okay, we have put in all of the straw flowers that I had out. I could pack in a whole load more, but I kind of want to keep the airiness of it, and the more you pack in there, the more compact it will look. So what I'm going to do now is, I haven't added in any larkspur yet. We kind of are now on that highlights layer. Sometimes I would include the larkspur as the display layer, but I've just concentrated on getting the straw flowers in place. So we have some protruding, so there's lots of wildness is what I kind of want to say about it. So it's random and not too contained. We have the larkspur that we can add in as a highlight layer. I probably don't want too much because it's going to add volume to it, and I'm also going to add in, I think, a little bit more of the limonium, because for once I think the colourful limonium might add more to it than other things. Normally I'm trying to use it for a bit of colour, but generally I don't like the structure of it. But I think it will fill in some of the gaps where we've got, add more colour without it being too heavy. I have also got these as highlight flowers, which I will be adding in. So it's just really little pops of colour to add to it. But you can stop when you want to stop. It's sometimes really difficult to just know when that is. But as you can see, it has grown in size compared to where we were. I do need more blue in there, I feel. So let's see where we end up once all of the extra bits are added in. And there we have it. It's really difficult to know when to stop. So I could add more straw flowers, so it was much more impactful. But for me, I want to keep the airiness of it. So that is, I think, where I'm going to stop. Looking around, I might, as I spin it, the bits that pop out, if I spin it slowly, could probably do with some more feverfew to fill in some gaps maybe. But other than that, I think we are good. Hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial. You can use any flower that you like. These are the ones that I've just dried this season, and I'm trying to use up a lot of my flowers so I don't get inundated. I've still got more coming in. But if you want to know how to create it in more detail, or to create a more dynamic, a more organic one, if you subscribe to my freebie hub in the link below, then as and when that workshop is available, I will put it up there and you can access it to create more of a installation flower cloud than just one orb of colour. So until next time, happy gardening.